political times. I truly believe that they're difficult for everyone, actually, even though some of us are more worried about it than others, if you know what I mean. And I find myself, I'm sure we all do, you wake up a little earlier than you meant to, you check your phone a little quicker, you have to set yourself rules about how much you should and should not pay attention, because otherwise it's just very bad for you. You know what I mean? Everyone knows. So I've been trying to look back at some of the therapeutic techniques that I used as a child to lull myself to sleep, counting sheep, that kind of thing. Now, but here's the true story. When I was 9 or 10, and I woke up in the middle of the night to a crash of thunder or a flash of lightning, I would do what every 9-year-old boy of my social class in England would do. I would lean out of my four-poster bed, and I would reach for the Victorian bell pull, and I would pull that bell pull, and it rung in a distant corner of our stately home. And there lived our nanny, who would, I'm not even sure what my parents were at the time, but my nanny lived down there, and she would come up this enormous medieval staircase like this. There was a dragon halfway up it, which she had to avoid. And you could hear the bustle of crinoline. Then she'd get to our floor where my 6 or 7, 8 siblings lived, and her slippered foot would slide them, and she'd gather up all my siblings, and she'd bring them all to my room to cheer me up, and she'd go, "How are you, Wesley?" And then I'd say, "I feel a bit scared because there's lightning and thunder," and she'd go, "Don't worry, we'll do activities to cheer you up." And I remember the one memorable evening, she had us make, as a creative outlet, she had us make lederhosen out of the curtains. One night, I remember that, Robert couldn't sleep the other night, and I tried to, and we did it as well, and it got nowhere. We were up all night, and then we got a huge bill from the La Quinta Inn and Suites. So that was fun too. But back then, it seemed magical. We didn't have to pay for the curtains, we just had great-looking lederhosen the next day. And another thing she did another night, she said, "I know what we'll do. We'll make up a song, and we'll sing about our favourite things." And I was like, this is so beautiful. So we sang this song with her about, brown paper string and all this stuff, and it was just so great. And for years, and it cheered us all up, and we all went to sleep. Ultimately, it didn't work as far as the Nazis was concerned, because they were in like a shot about 2 weeks later, but about 25 minutes later. But the key thing is, that therapeutic technique worked for me for years going to sleep, but it doesn't work anymore. The times are too grim and they're too dark for singing about your favourite things. It just doesn't work. It's like impeachment. It's just not going to work. So, what I've done is I've come up with a kind of censure version of it, and this is called my least favourite things, and this is what's working for me now.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Man buns on hipsters with Civil War beardos, bland hippie jam bands and old country weirdos, tattoos all over and silver nose rings. These are a few of my least favourite things. Tie-dye bad sci-fi reality TV, locally sourced and artisanal chickpeas. Every time Kanye gets on stage and sings, these are a few of my least favourite things. When the sun shines, when a breeze blows, when I'm feeling blessed, I simply remember my least favourite things. Instantly I'm depressed. Nipple clamps, tramp stamps and facelifted faces, clueless car parkers who take up 2 spaces, auto-tune Spotify, a bass with 5 strings, that's on the top of my least favourite. T-shirts with Instant messages, YouTubers, Twitter, Facebook and selfies and slobs who leave litter. Many musicians, that still includes Sting. Who's on the list of my least favourite things? Dream your best dream, cling to something that might help you cope. But consider this list of my least favourite things. Literally there's no hope. But yet, whatever, no worries, and he's like fake news and Fox News, the third and the fourth Reich, elected officials who think that they're kings. They're on the top of my least favourite thing. Climate change skeptics who hasten the world's end. Abortion's illegal except for their girlfriends. The thoughts and the prayers of the helpless right wing. That is the most of my least favourite